ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ವೆಲ್ಕಮ್ ಟು ರಶ್ಮಿರಾಜ್ ಬ್ಲಾಗ್ಸ್, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕನ್ನಡತಿ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಅಮೆರಿಕಾ. ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ವೆಲ್ಕಮ್ ಟು ವಿಂಡಿ ಸಿಟಿ ಶಿಕಾಗೋ. ಶಿಕಾಗೋ ಇಸ್ ಫೇಮಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಆರ್ಕಿಟೆಕ್ಚರ್ ಟೂರ್. ನಾವು ಆಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಸಿಟಿ ಕ್ರೂಸಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ದ ಶಿಕಾಗೋ ಅಂತ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಚೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಸೀಡಾಗ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಹೋಗಿದ್ದು ಶಿಕಾಗೋದ ಬ್ಯೂಟಿ ಅಂತ. ಸುತ್ತ ಊರದ ಮಿಡಲ್ ನದಿ ಅದ.
Continue on Lower Wacker Drive for 2 miles.
ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ವೆಲ್ಕಮ್ ಟು ವಿಂಡಿ ಸಿಟಿ ಶಿಕಾಗೋ. ಶಿಕಾಗೋ ಇಸ್ ಫೇಮಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಆರ್ಕಿಟೆಕ್ಚರ್ ಟೂರ್. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಆರ್ಕಿಟೆಕ್ಚರ್ ಟೂರ್ ನಾವು ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಿವಿ ರಿವರ್ ಬೋಟ್ ಟೂರಿಗೆ. ಕ್ರೂಸ್ ಟೂರ್ ಒಳಗೆ ನಾವು ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ನೋ ಮೋರ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ಸಿಟಿ ಆರ್ಕಿಟೆಕ್ಚರ್, ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ಕಿಟೆಕ್ಚರ್ ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು.
The wetter spots tend to be along the sides and in the back. Once again, the wetter spots tend to be along the sides and in the back. Very chronic. A lot of people suffer from it. You may not know you do, but the people around you definitely will. It's called having a bad attitude. Not here on this boat. After all, we're all here for a good time and a good time only. With that said, we are an open-air speedboat, which means some of you guys may get wet. Now, it is not our intention to get you guys wet, but we can only control the boat. We can't control the wind or the water. So the drier spots tend to be in the center and closer to me. The closest to me you are. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself and the rest of the crew. So hello everybody, my name is Victoria and I'll be your tour guide today. That's the person that was walking up and down the aisles. That was our first mate Danny, and up in the pod. After all, they are here there for your safety. So first things first, there will be absolutely no standing or swapping of his mind. So if anything happens and they truly do mean anything, I'm going to grab it and I'm going to jump, leaving all of you guys to fend for yourselves. But still, 15,000 of them is still a very hefty number. There are many activities you can do here, such as pet a stingray, feed a penguin, or see a dolphin show. So if any of that interests you, I definitely recommend heading over there. And if you are a Chicagoan, it is free on Tuesdays, in case you did not know. Now moving on, right over there, behind you guys, that is Adelaide Planetarium. Now Adelaide Planetarium is the oldest planetarium in the Western Hemisphere. It's close to doing star shows and constellation shows. If you're interested in doing any in outer space, so I recommend heading over if you're interested in any of that. Now, right behind the shutter curve, you cannot see it at all, but trust me, it is there. It is the Field Museum, but she has been moved to the top floor. She has her own exhibit. They also recently painted it. How I know they recently painted it is because I went on the one day they were actually painting it. So I didn't get to see her, so I definitely recommend all of you guys go and say hi for me to her. I do know that next year they plan on having a Pokemon exhibit, and right now they have like this reptile exhibit with like 10 to 20 reptiles in it. So if you're interested in that, I definitely recommend heading over to the Field Museum. Now right over here, this is Grant Park. Now Grant Park is home to many activities here in Chicago, like Lollapalooza, Sueños. It is the start and end of NASCAR. It's right over there, Grant Park. Grant Park is free to visit, and you know what else it's home to? It's home to the Bean. So who here has been to the Bean before? Alright, now who has not been to the Bean before? Well, shame on you! How can you come to Chicago and not visit the Bean? The Bean is a huge staple of Chicago. You can't walk into any souvenir shop without seeing a million versions of the Bean, deep dish pizza, or the Sears Tower. Now, the Bean is a nickname given to it by us Chicagoans, because we looked at it as it was being constructed and said, that's just a big reflective bean. So that's how it got that nickname. The person who designed it, he actually hated the nickname for a long while, but he has grown to like it because everybody knows it as the Bean. You guys knew it as the Bean. Its original name is the Cloud Gate. But moving on, I am done here on the south side, so who's ready to speed around some more? Welcome everybody. This is the north side of Chicago. There's a couple of things we're going to go over here, but let's see where it's inside. So that building that's right in front of us, you can kind of make out the two antennas, and it's very blocky, has X's going up and down it. That is the John Hancock Center. Now the John Hancock Center is the younger sibling to the Sears Tower. It's only the younger sibling because when they got about halfway done with the building itself, they realized that they'd miscalculated, so they had to completely redo the building from the ground up. It was because of that setback, it got none of the fame or the glory it was originally supposed to have. Because at its initial time of construction, it was going to hold the title of the tallest tower for at least a brief period of time before the Sears Tower was created. But as we all know, the Sears Tower was completed first, meaning it got none of the fame or the glory it was supposed to have. But what it does have is a tourist attraction. This one is called 360 Chicago, otherwise known as the Tilt. You walk into a glass cube, this time there are two metal bars inside that you have to hold on to. You hold on to them and it tilts you about 45 degrees, make you feel like you're floating or flying throughout the Chicagoland skyline. It's incredibly fun, incredibly safe. You get a beautiful view of Chicago, but if you've done the sky deck and didn't think that was exhilarating enough, try 360 Chicago. That should be plenty exhilarating for all of you. And if you are not a fan of heights, maybe just come here again. It seems like a pretty good option, I'm just saying. Like I did mention, it does have X's going up and down it. Those X's aren't just to make the building look pretty. There is a purpose to them. The purpose of those X's is to support the entire building, which I find absolutely hilarious because I've never had an X that's ever supported me that well. But you guys are not here to listen to my personal problems. You guys are here to hear a tour of Chicago and go fast. So let's see what you do there in the middle of winter. I'm not quite sure. Frankly, that's none of my business what you'd be doing on a beach in the middle of winter. But I do know that Chicago has this event called the Polar Plunge, where you get to go into Lake Michigan and swim around in the beginning of January. So if you're interested in doing that and you think the water is way too warm now, I definitely recommend coming back in the beginning of January to do the Polar Plunge. Now, if you're like me and think that idea is absolutely absurd, there is a zoo right along Lakeshore Drive called Lake Park Zoo. Now, this one is free admissions all year round, so you can go in the middle of summer, spring, fall, and instead, if you're wondering what that little building over there, that is a water filtration. That's not water filtration. Okay. Well, that is, it filters out the water that gets sent from little buildings all the way out there. Those are water intake cribs. They take in water and send them to a water purification plant just north of Navy Pier, and it's right there. And from there, it is dispersed all around Chicago, and that is how we get our drinking water. But with that said, who's ready to enjoy the water just a little bit more? Enjoyed the boat ride? Yay! I'm glad you guys enjoyed it.